Hey everyone, Jenny here with Sipping Streams Tea Company, and today I wanted to go over something very new and a little unusual as far as steeping it for an infusion. So for those of you who are part of the subscription box, you should have received the peony celebration, which is actually one of our experimental new blends that we're working with, and we would love for you to give us feedback on what you think of it as an herbal infusion. So for those of you who don't know, tea is only from the Camellia sinensis plant, and since we're going over Alaskan peonies today, that is not a tea. That is the flower from different varietals of peony flowers. So you might have received in the mail, if you got our subscription box, the peony celebration. So I actually weighed this out to being 2.5 grams. Wow, that is a lot for a serving. But it's so fluffy. And if you know anything about peony flowers, they're huge, they're beautiful, they smell great, not overly fragrant, and they are also a very important flower to Chinese tradition. So for those of you who don't know, Chinese people love peony flowers. It's actually probably one of the largest exports in the state of Alaska is exporting Alaskan-grown peonies to China. They're used in weddings, they're used for celebrations, and it's a symbol of wealth and honor and royalty. And so if you can think about the hundreds of dynasties in China's history, peony flowers has been part of that. Now, did you know that you can infuse and steep the peony flowers? You probably didn't know that. So we have had tons of people donate peony flowers to us over the years, and we can only use peony flowers if they have not been sprayed or treated. So we work with organic growers in the state of Alaska, and so I wanted to share with you, for those of you with a subscription box, Alaskan peony flowers. Now, I weigh this out to 2.5 grams, and you're thinking, man, that's so big, that's definitely not going to fit in my tea ball. It's definitely not going to fit in my tea paper filters. What am I going to put it in? Well, you can put it in a teapot that's got a strainer in it, or if you got one of our tea growlers, you could stuff it in there, but still kind of fluffy. You could maybe even put it in one of our tea travel mugs where you put the tea underneath the strainer. But I also have one of our Phenom infusers that are super, super fine. And so I had to weigh this out in a larger container because I wanted you to experience the full 2.5 grams of one serving that, yes, you can re-steep up to 4 times. Now, when we choose quality ingredients or particle sizes of our flowers and botanicals, it is very important to us that we can re-steep it up to 4 times and actually get larger or like more flavorful the second or third time. So, you know, you'll just see that's kind of fluffy and a little bit of a pain to make, and that's why we don't crush up the flower petals, because we want it to have that full flavor that infuses slowly over time and develops into this more and more fragrant infusion or a tisane. So anyways, I'm going to put the peony flowers, and you can see it like fills up it fills up the whole infuser, you see? So, you know, having something big, and it's going to shrink down in size, right when it gets wet, it's going to shrink. So I have some boiling hot water. So for our tisanes or herbal infusions, you're definitely wanting some boiling hot water, and you steep it 3 to 5 minutes to your liking. Now, the peony petals are very thin as far as their membrane is, and so it actually could probably infuse 1 to 2 minutes. So go ahead and experiment with that. Write us, let us know on our Facebook group, let us know on our YouTube channel what you thought about infusing peony flowers and how the taste was to you, and if this is something that Sipping Stream should carry more often. Now, the reason why we ended up with all of these flower petals is that when the peony companies are getting ready to export this flower, they actually don't want the flowers to bloom open because they're going to be put on a plane and shipped to a special celebration or a conference or something like that. And so if the flower is already open, by the time it gets to its final destination, it will be wilted. So you have hundreds of flowers that you can do nothing with as far as selling it as a floral botanical. And for peony growers, they have this dilemma of trying to get rid of all these open flowers. They can compost them, but there's no animals that eat them. There's moose leave them alone, little shrews and voles aren't going to eat them. So all you're going to do is have a gigantic compost pile. Well, I approached some peony growers and was like, hey, do you want to just donate them to me? Like, just give them to me fresh, and then I'll dry them and process them just like our other Alaskan botanicals, and we can make some sort of herbal infusion. So you might see now that it has shrunk in size. I can tip it to you. Way smaller now, right? So it takes up a lot of volume at first, but again, we don't want to crush our ingredients because it changes its extraction rate. That means the particles will be even smaller later on and infuse really fast. But the membrane of the peonies are also thin too, so even if you use boiling hot water, to your liking, if you feel like it's too strong, 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to steep mine 3 to 5 minutes because that's usually what I recommend for all of our botanicals, even our rose petals, and it's very similar to rose petals. Now, you might be wondering, what are some benefits of peonies? Besides being a long tradition of a symbol of wealth and fortune and royalty, what else is it good for? Well, there actually are some health benefits to the Chinese varietal of peony flowers. And for hundreds of years, they've been using it for Chinese medicine for inflammation. So it can help with rheumatoid arthritis. It could help and aid with any sort of inflammation, muscle spasm, lupus, and anything else that you can think of that you might have in your body as far as balance goes that might cause inflammation. Now remember, when you're always adding sugar to your food and to your drinks, sugar causes inflammation because of the molecule that makes up sugar, because of its ions. So when you're drinking or eating foods, try not to add too much sugar because that molecule is now polarized and is going to cause inflammation because it's going to want to neutralize itself. Now that can be like kind of the science geek in me explaining it to you, but peony flowers helps aid inflammation. So it must be something that kind of neutralizes and takes on that molecule and helps with it to some degree. However, if you are not treating your body well over time and over again, you just kind of, cheat a little bit, don't quite exercise, not make the best choices, maybe drinking soda or something like that, realize that over time, it's going to build up. And cleansing your body with something that is going to, bring down inflammation is going to take a long time to reverse those effects. So think about it. Tea is a lifestyle, and people who drink tea choose a positive lifestyle and are conscientious of what they're putting into their body. However, if you're always drinking sweet tea because that was culturally how it was for your home life, well, that's really not going to help you have a better, body when you're older. So think about trying to cut out trying to cut out sugar in your drinks and possibly trying to use less sugar in your tea if you're so used to that, or figure out some sort of blend that you really enjoy that will be a new tradition for you, something else to take the place of what you're used to doing. So that's kind of how you can replace a bad habit. But remember, habits took years to become a habit. So in order to reverse a habit, like if you're a smoker and you try to stop smoking, it will almost take as long to quit. So if you've been smoking for 10 years, it might take 5 to 10 years to actually quit smoking. Now, there are little things that you can do to help you be accountable. But the same thing, is what are you putting into place? What are you being proactive about? So, anyways, there's a little bit about what the health benefits of Alaskan peonies are. And so you can save it in a little dish here. And you can see it has this beautiful, almost chamomile color. And so definitely experiment with it. Definitely let me know, give me some feedback on what you think of the flavor, the aroma of it. And it won't be something like jasmine that is extremely aromatic. It'll be more subtle. And if you have issues with arthritis or inflammation, let me know. Is it effective for you? Did you drink it 3 times a day for 5 days or 7 days in a row? Did you show significant change in that? So we're experimenting with the flavor of our peony, as in maybe adding other ingredients to it, maybe changing the varietals, because the colors all taste different. Just like every type of rose will taste slightly different. And we would love to have your feedback, but this is a very unique botanical that is locally grown here that we have access to a lot of it. And we just really want your feedback of ideas of what we should make with all these peony flowers and all their different colors and the celebration that it gives us when we create something new. So let us know. And if you're not already a subscriber onto our YouTube channel, definitely check us out on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned in our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, as we go live every month to the Sipping Streams Tea Tribe. And we would just love to hear from you what you want us to teach you and share with you. Thank you so much, everyone.